right, good afternoon. This work session will now come to order. Why don't we just dive right in, and if the council could turn to page 6, we'll call up Gail Watts, Director of Department of Corrections. And that is page 6, Fiscal Matter 3. Good afternoon, Director Watts.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon to all. The administration is requesting an amendment to a contract with Gaudenzia Incorporated to continue to provide inmate treatment services and post-release care to reduce recidivism as part of the department's residential substance abuse treatment program. The proposed amendment, which commenced September the 29th of 2019, adds 3 one-year renewal periods to the current 7-year and 3-month term. The original contract provides that compensation in each fiscal year following fiscal year 2014 shall be negotiated between the county and the contractor. Estimated compensation for the 3-year additional 1-year renewal periods totals $1,069,833 and increases the estimated total compensation from $2,226,754 to $3,296,587 for the entire 10-year and 3-month term, including the additional renewal periods. The contract commenced on July the 1st of 2012.
Questions or comments from the council?
Mr. Chairman.
Councilman Couch?
Yes, thank you very much. With this company, have you received any statistics regarding the success of this program? I know they've been around for some time, and I'm interested in that, and also interested in their protocol, exactly what they're going to do. Thank you.
When you say the new company, you're talking about, it's not a new company. We had in the contract, it was requested that recidivism for the inmates on the program be reduced by 50%, and they did not meet that reduction in recidivism.
So we have a contract with a company that did not meet the requirement of 50%?
Correct.
But we're now going to give them more resources? Am I maybe misunderstanding something?
We're not giving them more resources. What we're trying to do is go from a Gaudenzia has a holistic approach on addiction, and we're trying to move to a medicated assistance treatment program. So we're working with Gaudenzia and the MAT program in hopes of reducing recidivism. So we did an extension on the contract and added a peer recovery specialist and an aftercare coordinator to the program.
What is the recidivism rate today under this company?
Approximately 45%.
And you were to reduce it to what?
50%.
So you got pretty close?
Yes.
Okay. And so the protocols that are being used, et cetera, your department has reviewed them and have looked at other programs that were where they are. I know there are other areas of the county and feel that they will meet these goals.
Yes.
Okay. And how long do they have to do that?
We will be evaluating them along with the MAT program, and they have until December of 2020.
I'm sorry, the date?
December, I hope I'm not saying.
December 2020, I think that's what you said.
Yeah.
It says adds 3 one-year renewal periods to a total 7 years, 3 months. So if we renew this, really the county council is not involved in any decision as to whether or not to extend this contract, because we're approving this, which is was extension of 3 years, correct?
Correct, and the county can opt out at any time.
But the council doesn't really have access or information about how successful they've been or not. And we have no say into whether or not our opinion might be that it's just not working and you shouldn't renew. But when we pass this, we are giving the administration the ability to renew the contract for 3 years without any input from us.
Correct, and it does not come out of, it comes out of the inmates' commissary funds.
The what?
The inmates' commissary funds.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions or comments from the council? I mean, the MAT, this medical assistance treatment program, specifically, what types of, do you know what type of medical treatment they're referencing on that? Like, what type of...
I don't know all the medications that fall under the medicated assistance treatment program.
But is it combating kind of opioid addiction?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I thought. Councilman Jones, nice to see you.
Good to be here.
Anything else? All right, appreciate your work. Thank you for coming in. All righty, moving on. Page 3. Why don't we call Deborah Schindel? Page 3. Contract for Home Paramount Pest Control Company. And good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Chairman and council members. The administration is requesting approval of a contract with Home Paramount Pest Control Company to provide pest control services at various county-owned and operated buildings. The contract commenced September 2nd, 2019, continued until December 31st of 19, and may not have exceeded $25,000 unless approved by the council. If approved, the contract will continue through September 1st, 2020, and will renew automatically for 4 one-year periods with the option to further extend an initial term and any renewal term with an additional 120 days. The contract does not specify a maximum compensation for the initial one-year term. Compensation may not exceed $1,150,000 for the entire 5-year and 4-month term, including the renewals and extension period.
Any questions or comments from the council? Councilman Cox.
Some have described me as a pest. Will this get me?
I'll send them down to see you. You're good.
I'm good.
Don't we have like Big Dan, the man pest control guy too, out there? Isn't there some guy out there? No? Okay. Anybody else? Everybody good? All right, thank you. Thanks.
Thank you.
All righty. Moving on. Why don't we do the addendum, Kevin Reed, Department of Health and Human Services. That's the contract for integrated cellular and molecular diagnostics. That's the addendum. That's good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman and council members. Fiscal Matter 1 is a request to approve a contract with Integrated Cellular and Molecular Diagnostics to provide laboratory services for our family planning clinics in our health centers. If approved, the contract will continue through March 31st, 2020, and will renew automatically for 4 additional one-year periods. This is a mixture of state and county funds. Compensation cannot exceed the amount appropriated from the grant monies that we receive. We spend approximately $75,000 a year for these types of services. And I think the auditors had some questions about just the length of time it took to secure the new contract, and we were working through some IT issues to be sure that the selected vendor did fully integrate with our processes and our electronic health records.
Any questions, comments? Council? All righty, thank you so much.
Thank
Moving right along. Shelley Simon, Office Human Resources. Now, this is also an addendum. Bill 46-19, Personnel Law. And good afternoon.
Good afternoon. The Office of Human Resources is recommending revisions to two of the pay schedules within the classification and compensation plan. These revisions are all a result of discussions with the administration and the meet and confer group of the Executive Corps. The changes are to pay schedule 7, which would be effective July 1st until June 29th of 2020, to add a grade to the pay schedule, which would be grade 26P. The current grade pay schedule consists of grades up through 25. The second recommendation is to, that's to incorporate that into the 2% cost of living schedule that has already been approved by Bill 1819. The second proposed amendment is to add 1 grade pay increase for the positions of captain from 20P to 21P, major from 22P to 23P, colonel from 24P to 25P, and deputy chief of police from 25P to 26P. The estimated cost as a result of these changes estimates to $247,254 for fiscal year 2020. Additionally, there are changes to the compensation plan with respect to premium pay regulations, Rule 10 of the classification plan. A compensation for work performed on a holiday pay schedule 8, employees in field positions assigned to pay schedule 8 who shall be required to perform work or to render services on the holidays of Thanksgiving or Christmas will be paid at 1.5 times their regular rate for the actual number of hours worked. Additionally, effective July 1, employees assigned to headquarters operations when scheduled for day shift duty shall receive differential pay of 75 cents per hour for normally scheduled work hours, and that's on pay schedule 8 for battalion fire chiefs assigned to A, B, C, and D shifts.
All right. Councilman Patoka.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you. I just wanted to check in to see if the Fraternal Order of Police, Lodge 4, and firefighters Local 1311 have weighed in on this.
It's my understanding that they all agree on the revisions.
Okay. Thank you.
And just checking, I know we had some issues with the Exec Corps, given the FOP. Is this sort of the working through that issue now? Is basically what I'm hearing?
Yes.
Other questions, comments? Anybody else? Everybody good? All right, thank you. Please
You're
tell
welcome.
Rhoda we said hello. All righty. Let's keep moving along then. How about Councilman Patoka on Bill 47-19, Assisted Living Facilities.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. We, as council members, have an obligation to do the right thing for the area of geography that we're elected to serve. And so in the Pikesville area in the 2nd District, Mr. Chair, you'll be happy to know that in the Commercial Revitalization District, the Department of Planning is conducting a study along with the community, and they've provided some data that was very interesting. In the Pikesville commercial area, 1/3 of the area's population is now 65 or older. and the fasting growing population segment in that same area is 55 to 64. So that age cohort is moving towards being older, and so we need to adjust to accommodate the services and the land use that we have in areas that pertain to certain age cohorts and other issues that can address the needs of our citizenry. And so we noticed in the Pikesville commercial area that assisted living was not permitted in the BL zone. And it was permitted in the DR zone, the RO zone, the ROA zone, the RAE zone, the VR zone, the BM, and the OR2 zones. So this is fairly straightforward, and it allows for assisted living in the BL zone to address the needs of an aging population.
Any questions or comments for Councilman Patoka? Everybody good? All right. Then let's keep moving. Page 2, Bill 48-19, Councilman Marks.
Thank you very much. This legislation clarifies that security guard booths are allowed by right under certain conditions. When Stanley Black & Decker redesigned its parking area, they learned that you could not by right put a security guard booth in the front yard of the property. You can go for a variance, or we could amend the zoning regulations to allow it, but the problem with doing that is then you open it up to having garages in front yards. So what this bill does is basically says that by right, Stanley Black & Decker, companies like that, can have them in their front yards. I'm certainly willing to tighten this legislation so that it's more commercial or industrial uses, but I think this is a way of addressing this issue.
Questions or comments for Councilman Marks? Everybody good? All right, let's go to Councilman Catch on page 10, Resolution 130-19.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This resolution will expand the Towson Redevelopment District. Let me just describe where it would be. If you go up York Road, when you hit the Beltway, going north on York Road from the Beltway to Seminary Avenue would be the new stretch of the redevelopment area. There are some issues there that need to be addressed, and this particular incentive program will help. Two examples. First of all, the Heber Plaza is having difficulty. I think they're about 50% rented, and what they want to do is improve the building inside, and what this would do is it would put off the additional property taxes that are due, put them off just for the improvements that are done to the building. The other problem is that on Deerco Road, Kaiser Permanente is building a new building. They'll be leaving the building at Seminary and York. And so you're going to have a huge vacancy in that building, and they need to do some work to encourage occupancy and to attract new occupants. So that is the reason for this bill.
Any questions or comments from the council? Councilman Marks?
Thank you very much. So as the council member who represents most of Towson, I was just curious, Councilman Catch, why did you not consider just creating a new revitalization district? That area is more Lutherville than Towson, in my mind.
The county executive suggested it.
Okay, he suggested just expanding. Okay, so do the businesses in that area recognize that by expanding it, they're going to be subject to the design review panel?
Yes.
Okay, so
Yes.
the tougher standards of the
Yes.
overlay district. Okay,
And
thank you.
when you look at the map of what areas have been included, there are areas that need to benefit from a tax credit. I mean, a lot of it is just not included. So, yeah, they do.
Okay,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other questions or comments from the council? And I do think we do have some members of Leadership Baltimore County here, I believe. So if you're Leadership Baltimore County, good to see you guys. And, of course, good to see everybody coming out today for the work session. Are there any additional comments, thoughts from the council, or everybody good? All right. Well, thank you all for coming out today, and please enjoy the rest of your afternoon. Have a good day.
I didn't realize Heber Plaza was in your district. I would never have guessed that.
Yeah, anything from the west and the north is my district, so you get your district, you come,
To Charles.
right, and you're also south of Seminary.
Yes.
That I go down to.
Yeah, Seminary, and then it kind of wheels up to Shawan Road for a little bit.
Right, yeah.
Did they get him? Who is the new owner? Somebody known?
Well, silent partner is very wrong. He's silent, we don't know him, but he is. He's a doctor, son. If you look on the zoning issues of ours, you'll see it's not. He lives in your district. I just don't know what he did. So anyhow, he says to me, and I understand that one way to get to you is to bring somebody famous like Beaver. He said, I'm related. My wife is related to him. Next time he's in New York, I can hook you up. Okay. I mean,
You know who the closest you could get to?
yeah, that's what he doesn't want crazy.
I always thought Heber was in your district, Heber Plaza.
Are they? The college or the well, did they want the lot they sold or their campus? Well, they don't pay property taxes here. College is nonprofit. Are they nonprofit? Is
You know who
Timmy
you could,
Goucher